Okay, this is the Nux MFX10 and I love this pedal. Let's hear some sounds and we'll talk about it a bit more afterwards. Screen here. So if we were to have a look through our models there, we don't have to go into edit mode or anything like that. We can change on the fly. As you can see, there are 4 switches on the screen and they correspond to this 4 switches, 4 dials I should say, just down there. A bit more crunch, for example. And my master volume. So the image on the screen will actually follow the positions of the knobs as I change them. I'll zoom out a little bit to demonstrate that. Okay, so I've got control number 2 there, which corresponds with brightness, and you can see the brightness control changing. And like all the distortions on this particular pedal, that sounds really quite exceptional. So let's go into the edit mode and access some different drive sounds. So here's the rat sound. Which is a beautiful overdrive. Octavia, one of my all-time favorites. I can hear that nice low rumble, just like the real thing. And there's heaps of them to choose from. So some of them are amps, some of them are just drive sounds. So these great sounds are happening before we've even started to play around with the equalizer, the modulation effects and all the other things. Okay, very nice tube sound there. And like I said, it just goes on and on and on. Let's see if we can find that rat sound again, because I do like that one. Turn around this way a little bit and we'll see what happens when we switch between our A and B. You can see just right hand lower corner of your screen. Original sound. Perhaps for your verses, and then chorus comes along and very easy to control. And of course you got your volume pedal right there as well, which can be set to do all the usual exciting things that we would expect. I'm just going to scroll through the menu here and you can see each of the tabs lights up on the bottom and it shows us exactly where we're at as far as our effects goes. So let's start editing with a tube sound here. beautiful liquid kind of modulation there to it, which is a univibe. Lovely thick detuner too. Change the depth of our chorus, or turn it right up. So a very malleable chorus there. Stereo chorus. Flanger. A lot of bandwidth in the flanger too. Very adjustable. You can go from subtle to really extreme. A little bit of flanger can be really nice when you're just playing clean chords. Virtually undetectable, but it can add a nice little edge to the tone. And then of course you can go completely crazy. Like that. Vibrato. Let's increase our depth, see how far it goes. Tremolo. Now tremolo has several different wave shapes, so it can fade in and out in a number of different personalities, I suppose. What else we got? Rotary cabinet. And of course univibe. Pitch shifter. Beautiful thick detuner. Actually on that particular setting I like that better than the chorus. Our pre-drive settings, which is where our wah pedal control is available. Auto wah, which is just set up to travel at a certain speed. And there are several different wah models as well. The traditional crybaby wah seems to sound really good. Let's go quite fast. Oh, that is fast. And then it can be subtle, or quite extreme. So the sound is extremely customizable. Overdrive. And of course subtlety is the name of the game with overdrive. Or you can put it right up into the distortion end of things. Not bad. Vintage overdrive. Bring the tone up a little bit. Distortion. Presumably based on a Boss DS1. Phaser. Now this is interesting because you can have the phaser before the drive system, and I do love that in multi-effects pedals because the position of the phaser can have a huge effect on the sound. So let's get some distortion. Now if that phaser was after that distortion, it would sound quite radically different. Let's get the tone up a bit. Go back to our pre-drive section. Alright, back to our tremolo effect, which also can be positioned before the drive. And we'll make the depth quite strong. Get the speed right back down. So you can hear the difference between a triangular waveform, like that, which is soft, and a square one. which is quite clearly defined. So that's all of the pre-drive effects. There's what, about 10 of them there. And then our drive sounds, which of course just go on and on. Equalizer settings, very straightforward. There's also cabinet simulations. You can have no cabinet simulation and yet still control equalizer, or you can set up your cabinet and give yourself any kind of equalization personality that you like. Now I know we got quite a stack of effects on top of each other there, so let's just turn off the pre-drive effect. Alright, so we've talked about equalizer. Let's try a few more cabinet simulations. Okay, we've also got quite a lot of reverb there, as well as delay happening all at once. So let's turn the reverb off and turn off the modulation effect, just to get a clearer look at the actual distortion sound. Very nice analog kind of feel to it. To me that doesn't sound digital at all. And let's look at the different kinds of delays. Stereo delay effects. Reverse delay is always a fun one. And tape delay is always good too. Makes for some interesting effects. Let's turn the time back, turn the repeats up, turn the mix up, turn the tone up. It's always a nice swishy kind of sound. Beautiful. And where was the analog delay? There it is. More time. Okay, let's turn our delay off and have a look at some reverbs. Room. Plate always has a bit more treble in it. Hall. It's always nice and deep and usually very long. That is a good one. Okay, no reverb, and I think we'll stick with room, and let's give it a nice long decay, no damping, and give it plenty of pre-delay, and mix it right in. So it's a nice full reverb. Let's try the same concept with plate. So a very swishy and authentic sounding kind of reverb. So that's our effects chain. It's nice and simple to navigate, and of course, as you've no doubt noticed, the screen is color, which seems like a gimmick, but it does actually make it a little easier to know exactly where you're at. And of course the detail in the actual graphical LED does make things a bit easier too. The last thing I'll show you is the drums section. So there we go, we're cycling through the different, so we've got, what have we got? Pop, rock, hard rock, etc, etc. Within each style there are several patterns to choose from. So hip hop, for example, has 7 different patterns. Looks like they've all got 7. And the best part about it is they've got a fill as well, so you can actually perform a song on the fly, play your guitar, and your drummer, or your virtual drummer, can play along and do some chops on the way. It's not just one repeated rhythm. So let's find something good. So you can see there how I am making the playing sound a little bit more dynamic on the fly. Very simple riff, but you get the idea. 4 patches for each bank, so bank 1 is A, B, C, D, and it goes right up to 9, so you got 9 times 4, 36 there. But bear in mind as well, you've got your A and B amp selector as well, so really you got 36 times 2 effects in total. So in summary, I'd have to say the MFX10 is something really exciting that's come from Nux. I think there's definitely a very serious new contender in the market. Very ergonomic to use, very easy on the eyes, both in terms of the screen and the overall unit as well. Very, very fun to use, both for the newcomer and even for a pro, and I think it's a real contender in the market.